The Nigerian football community and indeed the world has lost a giant, a true icon between the sticks, Peter Rufai. Affectionately known by millions as Dodo Mayana, a beloved husband to Stella Rufai and a proud father to 3 wonderful children. Peter was not just a footballer, he was a national treasure, a mentor, a patriot, and a man of grace, strength, and humility. Born with the hands of a shot stopper and the heart of a warrior, Peter began his football journey with Stationary Stores FC in Lagos, Nigeria. From humble beginnings on the dusty pitches of Nigeria to the shining arenas of Europe, his career was a story of determination and excellence. He carried his gloves and his dreams across borders, from Benin Republic to Belgium, Holland, Portugal, and Spain, standing tall as a symbol of Nigeria's resilience and talent. Rufai will forever be remembered as a key part of the glorious Super Eagles. He was a pillar of the legendary squad that lifted the 1994 African Cup of Nations trophy in Tunisia, a triumph that remains etched in the heart of Nigerians. He also proudly donned the green and white jerseys on the world's biggest stage, the FIFA World Cup of USA 94 and France 98, where he proved to the world that Nigerian goalkeeping has a name. And that name was Peter Rufai. But beyond the pitch, Peter was a gentle soul, kind-hearted, deeply devoted to his family, and generous in spirit. To many young aspiring footballers, he was more than a goalkeeper. He was an inspiration, a role model, and a beacon of hope. Today we do not just mourn a sportsman, we celebrate a life of purpose. Though his glove may rest, the legacy of Dodo Mayana will continue to echo in stadiums, in stories, and in the hearts of all who watched him play and knew the man behind the saves. Rest in power, Peter Rufai. You stood guard for Nigeria. Now the angels stand guard for you.
Good afternoon, sports fans. This is Sports Hub. You're welcome to the show once again, the very first edition on Monday. And you can be rest assured it's going to be bumper. Well, that's a dedication to the great legend Peter Rufai, a big loss to Nigeria. We'll be talking about him and some of the things he did. But that dedication came for us right here on Superscreen. Rufai is our first take this afternoon. It was quite unfortunate that a lot of Nigerians woke up last week and boom, the news of his demise surfaced. He's one player, I never met him one-on-one, but he's somebody I have a great respect for. He's one fantastic player who gave his very best when it comes to national call to duty. Peter Rufai died at 61 with 3 kids and a beautiful wife. Quite a humble individual, a dedicated player, and one person who gave his all to the Super Eagles. I always have my take in issues like this. As a member of the Players Union, it actually saddens my heart that this man with so much experience wouldn't really share this experience with the upcoming generation. This is one goalkeeper who went to 2 World Cup, won the Nations Cup, had about 3 or 4 Nations Cup within his profile, but today he's no more. Now the big problem is this: with everything this wonderful guy had, nobody would really tap into it. And that brings me to the question: how do we nurture our legend? How do we actually get them impactful into the sports circle? He's gone. A lot of acumen, a lot of empathies, a lot of good talks actually going on. It should be a lesson for us. When some paradigm happen, we all say the same thing. When are we going to have a change? It's a big loss to the Nigeria football family. It's a big loss to the great players that has given their very best within his own cadre. It's also a big loss to the upcoming players who will want to aspire to become goalkeepers. It actually saddens my heart personally, knowing fully well that he had a lot of projects. Desmond Ekweme was giving an epilogue of the project he was about embarking on. One of them was a podcast to talk about players' welfare and look at how to improve players' well-being. That was a tremendous program if it has taken off. But today, it is all history. It's quite unfortunate that Peter Rufai, the man they call Dodo Mayana, who started his career from stationery stores, that's the Flaming Flamingos, and got to Europe, become a rising star. Today is no more. It's quite unfortunate, but his name will linger on, and I can tell you that for every time every Nigerian player stepped into the field, Peter Rufai is an inspiration. You saw what Aziza Toshola did yesterday when they actually had their first game on Saturday, beg your pardon, and he scored that goal. He dedicated that goal and that match to the enigma, Peter Rufai. We're going to miss him. He's one fantastic individual. If you stay around him, for those who have said so many things about him, it simply shows that he's an humble individual. We miss you, Dodo Mayana. We'll see more of Peter Rufai when I go on this break. I'll be right back.
We never asked what that nickname means and where it came from.
That's a good one.
Will you indulge us and tell us?
With how that nickname came about?
Dodo Mayana. If you remember, while I was telling you some story concerning the goalkeepers I learned from, or the goalkeepers who I was with, Peter Fregene, Emmanuel Okana, and the rest of them in camp, while in room with Peter Fregene, he calls me Dodo. And that generation of 1980, 81, 82, you know, I joined the camp 81, you know. So from that moment, I was lucky to fall into the hands of Peter Fregene, you know. In fact, practically almost all of them. Every morning before training, you see me sitting in the front of Emmanuel Okala's door, waiting for him to open his door so that I can take his boot, hold it to enter the bus. Then I will go to Peter Fregene. You know, I will go to Best Ogedengbe. I'll pack all their boots, you know, so that I go to the bus. I sit. When they want to wear their boot, I bring it. I give it to them, it to them. You know, after training, sometimes I want to go and meet them. They tell me, no problem. Their jersey has been put to laundry. I should not worry. I say, what about the boot? Let me clean it. They'll tell me, oh, no, Peter, don't worry. Thank you. So I keep on doing this all through my stay in the camp. So while doing it, Peter Fregene now start calling me Dodo. Because of the way he see I follow him up in his goalkeeping.
Okay.
So from that word Dodo, which he started calling me, we got to Portugal. We were in Portugal, training led by the Brazilian coach, Otto Gloria. Then, while the session was going on in 1982, we were training. Peter Fregene finished, Best Ogedengbe entered the goal, finished his own action and everything. Best Ogedengbe went out, Peter Fregene went in, Peter Fregene performed. There was one other goalkeeper, then I went in. Now, during my own turn, we had about 30 balls lined out. So all the 30 balls was being shot to the goal by the coach, you know, Brazilian coach. And I was attempting all these balls. So the fans loved the way I was going for the ball. And I was putting in practice then what I was seeing from Peter Fregene and Best Ogedengbe. I was putting those things in action because, ask me, who had been training me all this while? So it is those things I'm putting into practice. And the fans were loving it. And they said, when they blow the final whistle, they say, no, they were shouting. I was hearing that shout, but I didn't know that they were for me. So all of a sudden I had Dodo. They pointed to the crowd. And I turned. And I saw the people making hands like this, we're shouting. And then I did my hand this way, that tomorrow we have training. I was meant to understand that they were referring to, why did you guys stop? Why did you stop? Go on. So I did my hand. So they said, Amaya. And I said, Amaya Dodo. I said, Amaya. So they said, Dodo, Amaya. I said, yes, Amayana Dodo. So which means in Spanish, in Portuguese language, when you say Amaya, Amayana is tomorrow. Dodo is something you will see tomorrow. Dodo, Amayana.
Tomorrow.
Amayana, Dodo. So when you say, hello, Peter, fine, thank you. So fans now pick it up and they call me Dodo Mayana. I will respond, Mayana Dodo. There's a response to it. If you say Dodo Mayana, I will say Mayana Dodo. If you say Mayana Dodo, I will say Dodo Mayana.
Wow.
I'm glad you brought that up.
So fans even love the name than calling me Peter. Anywhere the fans, majority of them, when they see me, they just use the name Dodo Mayana. Mayana Dodo. And when you call me that name, I know you know me, Richo.
Right.
To sign off, we can say Dodo Mayana.
Mayana Dodo.
Absolutely.
Dodo, Mayana, Dodo. What an interesting interview Dodo Mayana had in there, explaining the genesis of how that name became part of his life and his career as a goalkeeper. I'm very sure a lot of you never knew how that name came about, but from what he has just explained, it was a name the fans actually gave to him during the course of his training. I am amazed to know that he actually joined the Super Eagles, then Green Eagles, as far back as 81, 82. I was thinking he came in 91 towards the August, after the August 90, but it's shocking to know that Dodo Mayana has been with the team for that long. I can see the grace and the panache he brought to bear at the national level. We're going to miss him a big deal, no doubt about that, but that as it may, his history right now, and we'll learn from those things he had actually given us.